What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. This was kind of a last minute. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but I decided to kind of shift things around. I don't have anything going on tomorrow, so let's do some pen turning. I've really wanted to try turning the Spin Gems blanks. So right off the bat, you guys, and we'll have to kind of do it a little bit quick. I'm sure people will kind of start filing in here, but in the comments, tell me which ones you want to see turned today. Do you want to see the fluorescent ones, or do you want to see the granite ones? And one little side note, these ones I'm interested in because I think I'm going to add these to my website. These probably not. So I don't know if that makes any difference, but just wanted to mention that. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing good today. We're going to turn up a pen. So overall, these drilled fine, and you know, everything was all right. Again, if you use these Spin Gems, and I think it might actually be the big chunks. What in this granite one, you can see that there's some kind of bigger chunks on the bottom. Those ones seem to kind of just totally demolish my saw blade when I was cutting them up. So just something to kind of think about. It might be easier to just cast these in like a single blank mold, like the Turner's Warehouse ones or a silicone one. The only issue is you are going to have some, because there's so much material in there, it's going to kind of shrink once the pressure removes all the air. So just something to think about, but I didn't really get too much of that on the block mold. It was a lot more in the cylinders and in the PVC pipes. Again, that's another way to go. It's just a little bit harder to pour in thick material into tubes. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing good today. The world is crazy. Hey, Bradley's even here. Nice. I meant to shoot you a message, and I apologize. I don't even think I tagged you in the post. Sorry about that. Like I said, it was kind of a last minute decision whether I was going to do it today or not. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. The world is crazy, but on the good note, SpaceX launched and they docked with the ISS. One thing that's kind of cool about that, we're actually the ISS is going to be flying over our house around, like I think it does it over like 9 or between 9 and 10 p.m. The next few days. So we're going to actually go out and see if we can see. I don't know I'm not sure how powerful you need binoculars or whatever, but we're going to look up there and see if we can maybe see the Dragon docked to the ISS. That would be really cool. I have a telescope also, but it's kind of a piece of junk. So we're just going to go for some binoculars. Unfortunately, it's been a little bit cloudy the last couple days, so we couldn't do anything. We couldn't see it. But so anyway, there's some good news, even though there's craziness going on. So let's see here. I'm gonna scroll up real quick. So again, if you're just joining the fun, we're gonna be turning up one set of these. So let me know if you want to see the granite or the fluorescent ones turned. I got to pick one. I can't do both today. And you guys know how much I mess around, and it takes me 3 hours to turn a pen. Not usually, but you know. Yeah. I think I am going to add these to the website. So far they've gone good. So anyway, I was kind of explaining about prepping these. Everything went fine. They drilled fine. Like I said, they're a little bit abrasive on your saw blades. So looks like we got 3 or so for granite. And let's see, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Oh, the stupid thing moves on me when people add new ones. We got one fluorescent that I see. Everything else is the granite ones. Hugh made another live. Nice. Welcome to the stream. And Anna's here. Nice. John Hood, Susan, Daryl, Ray's here. Dave. Nice. So many people. I don't think my thing says there's only 16 people here, but I'm pretty sure there's more than that. All right, so it looks like granite is winning out. So let's get everything set up for the granite ones. I am curious to see how these turn out, so I'll definitely post pictures when I turn these. One note about these, so these were it was clear resin, and I kind of messed up. I was going to add black or white resin to go around the little chunks, but not a big deal. What I did was I used one of the black powder coated tubes. So that should kind of give the same effect. I think that if you added dye to the resin though, all the little spaces between the little chunks would be that would be a little bit more prominent, but that should come through with the black tube. These obviously I didn't do anything to, I just dumped some stuff in. So let's get things rolling here. 40 something. I kind of figured they need to update my, the thing doesn't update, I don't think. So let's see here. Daryl's outnumbered. Yeah, I want to see both of them. I want to see both of them. Hey, there's Doug. Hey, thanks, Hugh. I appreciate it. Super chat. That rocks, man. Thank you. I appreciate the support. All right, so let's enough of me just standing here looking at the screen. Let's get things rolling here. I don't know if there's any. One thing I do want to mention. I was trying to think if there's any other little news items. I did I did the podcast with oh man, I just went totally blank. Toby Merle, Toby Fire and Steel. So he's a knife maker down in Australia. He does a podcast. He's got a YouTube channel. I should let me get a link for you guys. He's a really cool dude. We ended up hanging out forever talking. So we did the podcast, but we talked for like an hour before we even started recording. And then we talked for like another hour afterwards. So he's really cool. He's a really interesting guy. So I had fun with that. He's going to be putting the episode up on, I think it should launch on Wednesday. Hold on, it's probably going to make noise here. Nope, it didn't. So Wednesday, I believe he said Wednesday around like, I don't know, in the afternoon sometime. I'll be posting links to where you can listen to it. All we did was just kind of talk, we just BS'd a little bit, but the problem was we got so wrapped up into talking and all that stuff, he actually forgot to start recording for like the first 3 minutes, and I thought I had mine recording, and I realized halfway through the episode that I wasn't recording on my end, so we'll have to see how this one goes. I'm definitely going to go back on the show, and I guess the way he does it, he does 2 episodes a week, podcasts, and one of them is kind of like a more focused, like, topics, and then one of them is just kind of, he calls it the waffle, and so I was the waffle obviously for this week. So anyway, go give him a subscribe on his channel. He does some really cool stuff, and listen to the podcast. I've listened to a few of his episodes so far, and he's a knife maker, so it's kind of focused a little bit more on that, but he does resin casting and all that kind of good stuff too, and he's had some pretty interesting guests and topics on his show, so I definitely recommend go check him out. All right, so let's switch camera views. I even got the right camera the first time. Oh man, we're off to a good start, guys. Off to a good start. You'll see that the sphere is chucked up. I still have not gotten this thing resanded. I've been pretty busy the last few days. I guess week at this point. So let's undo what we had here. Put these guys away. I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow I can get that thing re-sanded. And it's so ridiculous because it's almost perfect as it is. I want it more perfect, of course. So it's just been sitting there. So we got a live center in the tailstock there. Put our dead center in the headstock. And you can get these things. Most people probably should have a live center with their lathe. But you can get a dead center at Turner's Warehouse. And so these are, I set these guys up on cigar style pens. Those are kind of my go-tos. You guys probably noticed I do a lot of Sierras and I do a lot of cigars. And so cigar is it's a nice looking kit, but it's, fairly cheap for doing, testing and stuff like that. So I use them quite a bit. So now I got to figure out I should have done this beforehand. Got to figure out the bushings on these. Let's see. Small one and big, medium, I believe. Let me hold on real quick. Let me go. I don't want to. I guess it doesn't really matter because these can kind of go both ways. But I'm going to pull out a kit, and I just want to look at the components real quick. Should probably learn how to do this stuff. So let's see here. So the nib is. Let's see here. Should probably get a camera over here to kind of show you. The way I figure this out, I pull out all the little parts And the things you got to look at are the nib, and then this is kind of like a little center band thing that holds the twist mechanism. So those two are going to be on the front longer blank. And then I pull out this guy is going to be on the shorter blank, the kind of the cap part, and then the little clip side. So I'm pretty sure the clip is the smallest bushing, and then this is the biggest bushing. So that's one thing I always remember that. So let me just double check, make sure I've gotten. You find the smallest one. They're very close. Okay, so I got those two on the cap, and then let's see, I just need to look, I need to double check, and I'm gonna pull out the calipers. I'm sure that I have instructions somewhere, but they don't really tell you how to set up TBC bushings necessarily. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pull out my calipers, and I'm just gonna kind of check and see what is the number on this one. So it's 465 for the nib. I'm thinking that that's going to be smaller than this one. And then, gotta look at the thing. Yeah, so yeah, 5. That one's 5. So that one's larger. All right, so we got everything figured out. Got the larger one, the smaller one. All right. So I'm going to grab, and with this granite one, it really doesn't, I didn't mark it or do anything. It doesn't really matter how they line up, I don't think. So I'm going to grab my larger one. Can you guys see on top of the lathe? No. I'm just kind of, there we go. All right, so the shorter one's going to be like the cap. It's going to look like the cap. So I got my bigger one, smaller one, and I got my bigger one and smaller one here. All right, so now that we've gotten all that settled, now we'll rotate back down. And kind of zoom in and center this a little bit. Whoa. Hopefully that's decent. Let me see if I can kind of get a little bit closer in and kind of stretch the arm here and then point it downwards. I think we're a little bit too close now. I'm zoomed in, that's why. Okay. I'm a professional camera operator. All right. So, yes, you can see what I'm doing. Let's get the tailstock set up in the right position. All right, after all that, I'm going to switch this around. Doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to switch it to the way that this is going to be the nib, this is the middle, just so I kind of know. All right, and then I gotta get man, I am not set up at all today. Like I said, last minute, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have time. I had a phone call that was very important this morning that I had to deal with. That kind of set me back. Same thing's gonna happen on Wednesday also, so just to kind of warn you. I think that we should be good to go for a live stream, but just in case, that might be kind of tentative. Shoot. Trying to get the chat back open here. Here we go. And I get to listen to my own commercial. Thank you, YouTube. All right, so here we go, guys. What's going on? Pre-surgery, what's happening now? What happened? Wasp stings. Oh my god. That's not fun. I hate wasps. We got wasps. We have a pine tree right outside our front door, and stupid wasps hang out there. We just got a can of wasp and hornet killer. We just spray everything down with it. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the dust collector, and I got my carbide ready to go. And let's get this thing rolling here. Does feel a little bit more abrasive. I would probably recommend pulling out the carbide on this. I think that you would probably end up taking a pass and then having to sharpen your tool with a regular. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, once you get in there, I think you'd be sharpening more than you'd be turning if you used regular. You guys have a decent view? Let's see if we can make this even better. There we go. So I haven't actually turned a true stone blank. I don't know how abrasive those are, but these are a little bit abrasive, you know. I mean, they're not to the point where it's annoying, but it's more abrasive than just Alumilite. So just to warn you. And the other thing is, I can smell this stuff, and it's at least some of it must be made out of polyester resin. So just to warn you, if you're turning, you know, these blanks with the spin gems in them, they're going to smell like the polyester resin blanks when you're turning, cutting them, doing all that stuff, sanding. It's not the worst, but it's gonna, you know, it's definitely noticeable compared to just normal Alumilite. Hey, Ashley's here. What's up? And Brian's here too. Cool. What's up? Oh, you stepped on? Yeah. My wife stepped on a wasp when she was a kid. She was telling me that would be the worst. So it's looking pretty good so far. Right now it's kind of dusty and dull looking, but once we start polishing this stuff up, it's going to be pretty killer looking, I think. But it is definitely a little bit more abrasive. You can see that I'm going kind of slow. It just doesn't take off a lot of material, you know, all at once. I'm just looking at this bushing, the front one, and I want to double check, make sure that I got the right one. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, tool rest. I just want it, I don't know. I don't want these things to be backwards. Can't see what the number says. All right, I can't do this while it's on there. $477. All right, $462. All right, I just wanted to double check that. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your blank and then finding out that you turned one part, or I guess two parts basically, to the wrong diameter. right. Oh man, well you made it. We're good to go. Yeah, I know, it's 2020, everything's crazy. I second that. I just don't even know what's happening right now. How's it going? Thanks, Julie. It's going good here. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I'm doing good. The rest of the world seems to be in chaos. Things have been going fairly well over here. Sorry to hear about that sting. That's no fun. Really don't like bee stings. Yeah, definitely a little bit harder. I'm actually going to turn my cutter and just see, I've been using this cutter for quite a while, so I'm just going to kind of see if maybe this edge was a little bit more dull to begin with than I would like. So let's just kind of see if that changes anything. I need to get more cutters. I'm kind of running dry on the cutters. I got a new R2. That's about it. That's nice. That's cutting a little bit better. Drop my tool rest. I'm gonna try a little bit of this sideways angling. Not sure if this is that works okay. You can do the shear cutting, but it is a little bit sluggish when you're moving it, So you may end up kind of digging in doing it that way. I think I'm going to go back to flat because I just kind of have a little bit more control for how deep I'm going. I definitely do like the shear cut thing on kind of regular Alumilite blanks. I think I have more control over the tool, the way you hold it. I kind of like that a little bit better, but I think for these, there goes my phone. Oh man, phone down. Sheesh. I need a phone holder. Don't worry, we're okay. Everything's okay. You have wet nails. Oh man. Got a pressure pot and the seal is cracked. Oh my gosh. That's not good. So Not By Nature's asked, can't you just turn it around? I'm guessing you're talking about when I was measuring the bushings. The problem is no, because it's this one or this one that I was looking at, not these two. So you can't if you get them kind of mixed up in the wrong places. Just wanted to double check and make sure. I had already kind of gone through and looked at them, but sometimes when I'm doing things live, I'm kind of talking and doing, and I don't pay enough attention to some of those things. Definitely a little bit slower going than normal. I think I'm better off just kind of taking somewhat light passes here. Oh, it's also dark. I was like, it's really dark right now because I don't have my light on. Hopefully that didn't screw up the picture. I think you guys will be all right. It might be a little bit kind of blown out, but now I can actually see what I'm doing. I got to get a little wax on this tool rest. It's choppy. You don't want choppy movements. So, did anybody else watch the SpaceX stuff? When they docked with the ISS, that was pretty cool. I still can't get over the whole thing was like computer driven. Like the astronauts didn't really pilot, you know, I mean they were there, they were checking stuff, but I think the software pretty much does everything. It's really cool looking. It's really weird. I for some reason I just haven't been as, I'm really into the, you know, space and all that kind of stuff, and I just haven't really followed along with SpaceX that much up until now, and it's really cool. All right, hopefully that will let me, that'll be a little bit smoother. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I know a few people were watching it. I'm a little bit bummed. I really wanted to kind of, I wanted to see the thing like live. I ended up having to leave and come to the shop, and I missed the actual takeoff. But I watched the replay in the shop. Just so cool. Alright, let's stop real quick and kind of take a peek. I'm going to stand back here, look at the shape. Definitely need to, I usually make my cigar pens pretty fat. Figure if you're going to get a fat pen, you may as well make it really fat. Kind of nick the bushing there. Whoops. They're sturdy. But it's still, this is even pretty fat for my tastes, so. Take a little bit of material off in the middle here. That's looking pretty good. Now to just bring it closer here on the bushings. glasses are dirty. I can't see the can't see the stupid blank. There we go. Now that I don't have debris on my glasses, I should be able to get in here and trim this up here. It's looking pretty good. Just a little bit more detailing here. And then it's time to sand this puppy. I'm gonna bring in my light. This is probably gonna blow you guys out, but I gotta be able to see what I'm doing here. Nothing better than a super strong light. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys around to the front so you get kind of a straight on shot of this thing. It's looking pretty good. Maybe not the best shaping I've ever done on a pen, but not too bad either. Is it focusing on blank? There we go. Looking good. Got just a little bit more to take off on this end. Maybe a little bit on that end. It's just a minor amount. So, let's put you guys back to where you were. Zoom it out a little bit. Let's stop and see what's happening in the chat real quick. Yax here, what's up, man? Woo, Mike Schmitz. How's it going, buddy? Nice. It's nice to hear your workshop's coming together, man. Waiting for the logs you prep to turn themselves into bowls. I hear ya. Some days that's how I feel. Actually, that's how I feel a lot of times, because I make blanks a lot, and I'm like, are you going to turn yourself now, or what's going to go? What's going to happen? Oh man, Bradley pulled out another discount? What? That's awesome, man. Thanks. Pulling out the discounts on the live stream. All right, I think that's good. Slow it down. And this stuff's a little bit rough, so I mean, I don't know that there's a whole lot of, well, I don't know. It's tough to tell where like tool marks are. So I'm gonna start, let's pull out 180, see how it looks, basically. Should be able to see some tool marks. I don't think that I was getting it, you know, perfectly flat. And again, with some of these chunks, I think there's a little bit of like different hardnesses with certain materials in here. So just kind of be aware of that. You know, you may not get things exactly as smooth as just like a normal full resin Alumilite blank. I'm actually going to come in here with my R2, the radius square, and just see if I can kind of take out some of these tool marks. I can see there's little bands here and there, and those are definitely pretty good tool marks. So let's just see what I can do with the R2. And it's a fresh cutter too. It's very sharp, so That'll also help out a little bit. Where'd my 180 go? See if that did anything. That helped a little bit. You can also feel, you know, if you have any bumps. It's really hard to tell. It feels really smooth for the most part. There's maybe a bump like right in this area. I'm gonna get me a new piece of 180 grit here. I think that might help. I think that was an old piece. Yeah, it definitely looks very realistic stone. That's why I was interested in this. Like I said, some of you guys may have seen, I used to sell a granite blank, and it was okay. You know, I mean, it was fine. And you could add dye to it. That's actually something I want to try with this. I know that they have other mixtures, but I want to try and add some dye, see what happens. You know. But it really, you know, I know what granite looks like. You know, a lot of us have seen or have granite countertops, and it didn't look like that. Not exactly. But this stuff, this granite, and living in Tahoe, you know, there's raw granite boulders all over the mountains when we go hiking, and I know exactly what those look like. This looks dead on, and that's why I like this material. So, but you know, it is a little bit hard, you know, a little, I would say abrasive. It's not really like hard, but it's turning nice. There, you know, it's not like it turned bad. It's just, you know, be prepared to take a little bit of extra time turning these things, and you'll be good to go. Hard to tell. There are some things that look like tool mark stripes going around, but I think it's actually just little dark spots. I think I've gotten this thing nice and flat at this point. The ISS just moved out of Baja. Oh man, I know. Yeah, I think we're still gonna have cloud cover tonight here, but tomorrow it's either at 9 or 10 p.m. So it should be perfect. Jamie, you'll turn my blanks? Oh, brother, I would definitely send you some. Is there any, are there any, someone was saying that Canada, like, closed their border, like, you can't ship stuff or something. No, maybe you can ship stuff. I guess it's not a shipping issue. You can't cross the border. Oh, I was wondering what the speed of that thing was. I thought it was something like 23,000 was orbit, but yeah. Sorry, I'm just stopping to kind of catch up a little bit. Hey, what's up, Joel? How's it going? Ah, Philip's here too. What's the best way to remove wax prior to stabilizing? I just cut it off. If for some reason you can't, you'll have to boil it, which is not particularly fun. So if possible, avoid it, or you know, buy stuff that you can just cut off the outside layer. That's the best way to go. I don't even think I'd recommend sanding it off, because you can end up kind of sanding and pushing, like pushing it down further in. It's best to just fully cut it off or boil it away. But you definitely want to get that off of there, because you want to be able to have the cactus juice, you know, penetrate from every side, let's say, of the wood anywhere it can. And you definitely don't want to cast stuff, you know, burl or whatever with wax on it. That's not gonna work either. I've never done the boiling thing. I don't know if there's any tricks or anything like that to it. I've just heard people basically boil it, and then as far as I understand, the wax will come off and it will kind of form a separate layer that you just pull out of there. Bradley might know a little bit about that, I don't know. Somebody probably does. I don't know that I would burn the wax off either. Again, you can end up making it go deeper into the grain, possibly. I mean, it's, you know, we might be kind of splitting hairs, but he asked for the best way. The best way I know of is just to straight cut it off. All right, so this is feeling nice and smooth, that's for sure. Give it a little bit of this action. Why not? The tough thing about this is you really can't see, like, it's really difficult to see the scratches because there's so much stuff in there that it kind of makes it look like you've done enough before you actually have. So from this point, I'm actually going to turn off the dust collector, which will be nice on my ears. And we're going to go with wet sanding from here on out. Man, I'm hungry right now. I don't know what happened. Jeez. Tell you what, it's been nice. The weather, so we had some like 95 days, which again, I realize that on the scale of things, you don't have a lot of humidity and all that stuff, but 95 is pretty warm here. And it heats up my shop, which I don't like, so we had a couple of 95-degree days, like maybe about 5 or something like that, and then it turned cool. So I'm very excited about that. It's only 74 in the shop today. It's been getting up around 80 in here. Don't like that too much. Makes it hard with certain resins. Yeah, if you can turn it off, that's fine. If you can chuck it up and turn it off, that's a good way to go. 9 a.m. You better get into it, man. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good rest of the day. I know, it's comfy. Just watching a little bit of sanding. All right, so I've gone up to 240 grit. Let's go with our 400. I think I got a 400 in here somewhere. 180. There we go. A little bit of 400. Look at that. Add a little bit of water. Look at that stuff shine. Can you see that? Are you guys? Let me zoom in on this. Woo-wee! Put a little water on there. Ooh. This stuff's going to look good. Is that way too close? There you go. Now we're doing it. So one thing about it though, if this stuff has polyester resin in it, the only good, as far as I'm concerned, the only good thing about polyester resin is it polishes up quite well. That's kind of the trade-off. It's like a brittle, kind of hard, it's not, a lot of times not super fun to turn, but it does polish quite well. So we should get a pretty good polish on this stuff. And it's just the way the structure works. It's kind of like the difference between wipe-on poly and like lacquer finishes. Lacquer is kind of a hard, brittle finish, where polyurethane is a little bit more kind of flexible, let's say. And that's kind of the same difference between Alumilite or epoxy. Most epoxies and Alumilite are about the same, and polyester resin. But there's so many downsides to polyester resin that I never use it. as a casting resin. All right, I think that's probably pretty good. Keep in mind there is also some alumilite in with this as well, so, you know, but there's a lot less of that. So I'm thinking that this is going to be pretty shiny. And I don't think there's, I can't imagine any need to put a finish on top of this at all. I don't know why, you know, I can't think of a reason why you would maybe do that. You should be able to just polish it up and be done with it. You know, one thing I'm actually kind of curious to see, I'm sure Bradley's probably used this as like a filler with wood, but, you know, like kind of a hybrid. I guess I've never seen like a hybrid pen blank with wood and this stone material. That would probably be pretty interesting, that kind of contrast. I don't know. Something to do for another day. So is Jamie still here? What's Jamie up to, man? I haven't talked to you for a while, brother. What have you been up to? Hope all's well on the other side of the pond there. I'm going to bring my phone back up because I don't think it's going to vibrate off. 5 London plain burl pen blanks. London plain. What is a London plain? Am I missing something? All right, Mark, have a good one, man. Enjoy the... Did you say battery's gone? No more comments. Okay, yeah. So you're still watching? We'll check in every now and then. Say hi. London plain is a wood. Huh. I didn't know. I've never heard of that before. But I haven't heard of a lot of things before. All right, so we're at 600 here. Let's just get this wrapped up. I know you guys are all anxious to see what this looks like. I get caught up just reading the chat sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing something over here. Maybe I should keep doing something. All right, so we got 600. Then we're going to go with our polishing papers here, 750 and 1150 and blue, whatever that is. Probably somewhere around like, I don't know, somewhere between 1500 and 2000, I think. Then we'll set this one aside. We will turn up the other half and we will see what this thing's looking like. Very red, looks like royal, maybe? Very red, nice, that's cool. You're getting burnt out on bottle stoppers, but you make some good ones. It is nice to switch things up though. I understand that, and I'm actually even more so. I don't, you know, you guys probably noticed that I'm not a production like turner. I'm not really a professional turner at all, but you know, I don't just make pen after pen after pen or something like that. I couldn't do that. Even when I was selling products as kind of the main business, I had to switch things up. I'd do a small run of things, but then I'd have to go do something else. Nice figure, nice. Oh, lacewood, okay. If it's lacewood, American sycamore, huh. I don't think that's lacewood, is it? That would be totally different, I think. London plain. Can't believe I've never heard of that before. palm tree. Man, you guys are just, I'm all over the board here with what this stuff is and looks like. Palm is not really like wood. It's kind of weird. Kind of a pain to turn and all that stuff. All right, so we're on the gray paper, 1150 grit. Just put a couple more seconds of this. Kind of trying to make sure, like I was saying, it's kind of hard to tell when you've done enough on these because of there's just so much stuff going on the actual surface that it's kind of difficult to tell. So I'm just trying to give it a couple more seconds. Make sure that I've gotten all the scratches out that I can. You might be able to see it if you can get the right angle of the light in a powerful enough light and all that stuff, raking light, but just to warn you, might not be a bad idea just to give it a little bit longer than you normally would on each grit, just to make sure. But it does sand and polish nice. I mean, there's nothing, it's not like it's harder or more difficult. In fact, man, that's looking good. Let's get you guys in there. Oops, wrong way. I mean, really? That looks like a piece of rock right there. That's good. I like that. All right, so we got this one polished or, sanded up at this point. I'm going to take this guy off. I'm just going to set it aside because the next steps that I would do are going to be over on the buffing wheels. And I'd rather just get the other one turned first, and then we'll buff all of them. But I mean, and this isn't even fully polished yet. Like that was just, and I think honestly you could just get away with it right there. Like that's good enough, but we can actually get this, it's not even polished at all. That's only like about maybe up to 2000 grit, maybe somewhere around there, which is dull, basically matte. So looking good. I'm excited about that. Let me get my wet sanding junk out of the way, and then we will turn this side up. Be good. Yeah, this stuff looks good, isn't it? You're gonna send me a couple of them of the London. What is it? Oh, shoot! I'm London Plain. London Plain. That's a new one. Well, are you sending it? Are you in the U.S. or are you in the U.K.? Because I can just look it up and we can kind of see. I don't want you to spend money sending it across the pond. It's not cheap. Ooh, knife handle. Hey, there's Toby. What's up, man? I just mentioned you at the beginning of the show. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, dude, knife handle material. That would be a pretty killer knife, especially like, I can just see like if you had granite countertops and you're like, oh, my matching granite handled, chef knives. That'd be cool. Even in the shop too, but I don't think I've ever actually seen. I don't know if I've seen this stuff used as a knife handle, although I'm, admittedly, it's not like I'm buried in the knife making world, but yeah. Sweet. Bradley's fast on Google. I like it. Oh man. Just ordering buffing wheels. I like to call it buffing wheels. Okay. Let's get our, oops, I'm knocking the thing there. I'm not super, I don't know about this whole thing. Hold on real quick, guys. I'm going to move you guys out. You can see my mat down here. It's all crooked and ridiculous, and that stand is my dust collector stand thing is like on that, and it's wobbling, and it's just this whole thing. I don't know. I should have just done what Carl Jacobson did. Oh, that's going to be a lot better now. Okay. I think. In fact, I got to get my life straightened out, guys, obviously. There we go. Cords everywhere. I don't know. Ah, come on. This stand was pretty expensive, and I don't know, just not super. It has deficiencies, let's say. Okay. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's try and get this going here. I'm gonna zoom in and make sure that I'm kind of lined up here. So there we go. Cool. Gotta go to dinner. Bring your phone, man. Just bring it to dinner. It's cool. Have a good dinner, Dave. Thanks for joining the fun. Okay, so we're going to turn on the dust collection, collect that dust, and pull out the carbide. I think I'm going to, man, I wish I had another carbide cutter. It'll be all right. I don't need gloves on while I turn. I always find it funny. Sometimes I've gotten complaints, or, you know, like, not complaints, I guess, but comments from people saying, and I'm wearing nitrile gloves. And I just personally, that one, I don't think that's dangerous at a lathe. I mean, worst case scenario, it just rips off your finger. You know, like the glove will come off if it got wrapped up. It's not gonna like pull you into the lathe. What do you guys think about that? Are you, where do you stand on the safety with like rubber gloves? I really just don't want to wear them. You know, there's no reason to wear them while I'm turning, but I'm a little bit high. Get that thing tightened up. Tighten that tailstock. All right, so going good, going good. Still got a little ways to go to get this thing rounded. But yeah, definitely the stuff turns fine. Definitely turns fine. How strong is the Faux stone? I'm guessing it's really strong. But I don't know, you know. Yeah, I know they tear so easy. But you know. Yeah, I wear them when finishing, but I'm like, you know, every once in a while, like you're finishing something, but maybe you just have to turn something. Somebody actually made a comment once. They're like, "Oh my God, you're wearing gloves." I was like, "So?" I'm not worried about it. Spin gems separates. Well, you want to wait. What I found, mine kind of the bigger chunks kind of settled to the bottom. I think that's what you're saying. The big thing is, I do think if it's like a normal like this mix, I can't remember if blended or what mixed. I think this is the blended type. You know, the bigger chunks are gonna probably sink a little bit, so you want to wait till the end of the working time to pour. But I mean, I even did that a little bit, and they still kind of sunk that way. The only other way that you could do it, I don't think it's going to happen as much if you poured vertically, but you kind of end up trapping more air pouring it vertically, like in a PVC pipe. So it's just one of those things that you got to kind of, really wait till, it's really thickening up and just about to set up. It'll be good to go. Gerald, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. That's very generous of you. I love the little pear guy. Those are the best. Thank you so much. Midnight for Hugh. All right, have a good one. Thanks for joining the fun. Gotta take the trash out. Oh, man. Oh, you did pour. Yeah, you definitely want to wait. It depends also, if you were using, like with Alumilite clear, I think I waited, till it was like 105 degrees, something like that, and it was somewhere in the 70s in my shop. I probably could have waited longer even on these ones. It's not like it was like setting up, but if you're using a slow setting resin, like an epoxy that has like a 45-minute working time, then, if you poured it early, then it's definitely going to settle out. Like you really have to watch it on those, because half of it is you're waiting for a thickness, but the other half is, you're waiting till the end of the working time so that it'll set up fast. So, and some of it is, there's a little bit of trial and error with that. You got to you don't want to wait too long or else it's set up basically. But you want a little balance where it's thickening and the stuff can't move around as much. And then it's also going to like fully harden soon. So maybe just wait a little bit longer next time. And you should get a little bit better results. These weren't too bad, but it definitely settled out on me too. One tip that I'm thinking of as I'm doing this, I'm turning down, and I guess this kind of goes for any kind of pen blank, but I don't know what my customers are going to use my pen blanks for, what size. So 3/4 it covers the gamut of whatever kind of project they want to use it for. But for your own pouring, you really don't necessarily need to have it be 3/4 inch. You can cut them thinner. And that, depending on what the sizes you need, and that way you're not kind of spending all this time just taking material off and chewing up your cutters. So just one little thought. They don't, a lot of people, I don't know, 3/4 inch is kind of a standard pen blank size, and you really don't need to make them that size if all you're going to do is waste most of that material. And you'll also, your blanks your brick or however you're doing it may go farther. You may get more out of it, but you're just also not spending as much money on the spin gems, because they're, it's not cheap. It's an extra cost. Stretch your dollar and your cutters. Yeah, mix ratio also. That's interesting. So just to elaborate a little bit on that, I'm guessing you mean like, so all of the ones that I poured was like a 1-to-1 volume you know, like 1 part spin gems to 1 part resin. So you could maybe, you know, I don't know if how this would work, but you could 2 to 1 or something like that, you know, add more spin gems and it will, you know, change things a little bit. Very good point. How do I keep my tools looking? Because I blow them off. I blow them off every once in a while. I don't know. I don't like dust just floating around. I'd rather blow it somewhere else. So I blow them off. I don't obsessively clean my shop. I don't like resin, sticky stuff, and dyes all over the place when I'm casting. And I don't like just leaving shavings all over my body. You know? I'd rather just kind of get them out of my face. It's inefficient. But it also does kind of help if you're doing video stuff, so that it's not just like a pile of shavings that people are looking at. Oh, I nicked my bushing again. This stuff, like I said, it's kind of, you end up kind of pushing a little bit more, mainly because my cutter, I think, is getting dull quicker. So just like I said, it's a hard material. I shouldn't be using as much force as I am. But I'm going to switch my cutter around. I don't know that this is a very good example of you know, how abrasive this stuff is, because I think this cutter was already kind of on its last legs. So fortunately I don't have another one that I can put in here, a brand new one, and see how it works. That's a little bit better. All right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Well, yeah, you go on the road with yours, man. I don't turn that much. I mean, this is the most turning I've done ever, I think, because when I've started doing the Monday and Wednesdays. So, you know. There's never well, I clean things off. I blow them off. You know, the thing is, like, I just blow all the dust and stuff into certain corners. That's how it works. I'm allergic to dust. Just, you know, I know that wood dust is just bad for you, but just dust, I have so many allergies that it drives me nuts. So, you know. Yeah, you missed everybody saying that I'm too clean. I've been called way worse. I've been called way worse than that. Alright, I'm going to bring this back up a little bit here. Do a little bit of flat. Oh, that's way too high. Alright, so just nibbling away here. Try to get this thing shaped properly. Let's bring you guys in. I'm coming up on the correct shape here. Or you know what I'm going for anyway. I don't know if there's a correct shape for a pen, but we're getting closer. So I just got a little bit of material there. This bushing's I'm almost there now. That's pretty much what I was going for. The cigar kits are kind of interesting because you got a really big bushing on this side, and this one's pretty small. So you got a pretty good taper that you got to bring it down to. And I could probably even bring this middle down just a little bit more. One thing to keep in mind is you have a clip also. So, you know, and I'm all right with it. A lot of my pens are pretty fat and the clip just kind of sticks out a little bit more than normal, but sometimes you got to really kind of keep that in mind and take some more material off. Mert's here, what's up? All right, Everett, have a good one. Have a good dinner. Yeah, I like eating too. Me and Billy are on the same page. I just like food. I definitely do like my food. I would be skinny if it weren't for food. Oh man. That food always gets me. Stop this. I want to feel the ends here. Still think we got, yeah, it's still a little bit proud right there. Still a little bit proud on the other end too. I'm gnarling, I'm tearing these bushings up today. That's okay. They'll be all right. All right, we'll give it a pass with the R2. I'm gonna stop it and just double check everything, make sure that I've done my job. I can still take a little bit more material off here. We don't want our blank proud of the pen kit. Alright, that ought to be good. And come in here with the R2. And smooth out any bumps that I put in here. Alright, it's hard to tell, like I said, with all the little colors and things going on, it's really hard to tell if there's tool marks going on or not. So we'll hit it with a little bit of 180. And yeah, I like beer too. I like dark beers. But food talk, yeah, I know, I'm telling you. All right, Mike, your battery's probably dead, but thanks for joining the fun, buddy. Have a good night. So let me hit it with some 180 grit, see if I can kind of see any problems, any tool marks that I didn't get out. And I can kind of see, you know, if there's any bumps, but because there's so many different colors going on, it makes it a little bit more difficult than just a normal, you know, run-of-the-mill blank to kind of see what's going on exactly. Looks like there's some kind of funkiness with the shape. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, there's kind of a, I'm gonna get you guys in on this side here. See if you guys can kind of see this. It's kind of a weird, it's coming off of this bushing. See how it's like kind of flat and then it kind of like bumps up? I don't know if you can see that or not, but I don't really like that shape, so we're gonna come in with the tool and kind of fix that up a little bit. It's just not really what I had in mind. Alright, where'd my 180 grit go? I lost it. I think that is 180. I like that a lot better. All right, I think we're looking good. Give it a little bit of sideways action. and we'll move up. So that was 180 grit. Let's, I think at this point, I kind of forgot to switch to wet sanding last time, but I think we can do that, and that'll let me turn off this loud dust collector. I really want to get a different solution for the dust collection. When I moved my whole shop around, I was thinking about hanging duct or figuring something out, and then running it off my main line. I'm using a separate dust collector over here in the back. I don't know if you can see that very well. So this is my old 1 horsepower. So I was going to run it off my main line, which is a Grizzly, like 3 horsepower big one, but I didn't really want to have to run the duct and hang it here. We have like 16 foot or 18 foot ceilings. I don't know, they're really high. And frankly, I just do not want to climb up on a ladder to hang duct work. It's just not fun. No, it's not loud my microphone does a good job of not picking it up for somehow. I'm extremely surprised. It's loud in my ear because I'm standing right next to it. Not really my cup of tea. You know? And then it makes me like feel like I'm yelling at you guys, like, can you hear me over the dust collector? So better to just turn it off, and it's better to wet sand anyway. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Let's see, we got this thing all screwed up now. I'll get you guys in here. I'll zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Now we're looking good. There's an applause button. I don't even know how this stuff works. How does that work? Oh, it's a new feature. Okay. I was like, I've never even heard of this. Oh, editing some videos. Nice. Back to the coal mine. R2. Oh, yeah, they should have a D2. I'm gonna have to call Easy Wood Tools and be like, you know, if you're gonna have an R2, you should really have a D2. I'll use both of them in every video if you come out with a D2. Let's see here. Okay, there's a 220. Yeah, that'll work. Look at that. Just add water and it looks fabulous. All right, so you guys are good. I'm good. Let's get this going here. Speaking of food, I mean, I've been all like just fixated on pizza lately. I think we're gonna have to get some pizza this week again. Even though we've had a ton of pizza. This 2020 has been the year of pizza for us. One of the big reasons is it's just one of the easiest things to order takeout, and they can deliver it to you, you know. So it's a little bit more convenient. Plus, you know, that's a really easy excuse for me to be like, yeah, well, you need to get pizza because it's really convenient right now, you know? But man, I don't know what the deal is. Just want more and more and more. $600. Let's see here. What else we got? I guess we're going with this one. With the big 400. I'm gonna wipe this off. It's good to wipe off between grits, just so you don't get, you know, 220 grit. The little particles could come off, and you end up, you know, even though you got a piece of 400 grit, there may be some 240 grit or 220 grit particles in there. So it's not a bad idea to wipe off in between each grit. I don't know. Personally, I don't really think that you lose as much on these little polishing pads, so I don't really do that in between those. I may be completely off my rocker, but it hasn't really been a problem I haven't seen. But I do try to you know, blow it off, or if I'm dry sanding, or you know, wipe it off if I'm wet sanding in between on the lower grits. Feels like, I don't know. Feels like it's good enough there. I don't know. Hard to tell. We'll do a little bit of sideways action with the 400, then move up to 600. And then it's on to the polishing papers. I can't wait to see how this thing turns out. I mean, like I said, we haven't even actually polished one of these yet, fully. This thing's gonna be shiny, I think. Let me pull the phone up. I can bring the phone up now that it's not gonna vibrate off. Seafood pizza. I don't know about that. I'm pretty boring when it comes to pizza. I like the meat lover ones. I like just plain cheese, frankly. I don't get too exotic with it. I can handle the Hawaiian. It's pretty good. I know a lot of people hate that one. It's okay though. An interesting one is Hawaiian with jalapenos. So, you know, Canadian bacon or ham or whatever, pineapple and jalapenos. Add a little spice to your life there. Bacon, yeah. See, I like bacon. I really like, you know, I like bacon, but bacon on a lot of things, it's just, that's all it is. You know, like you can't really, it just totally overtakes things. I like bacon on a cheeseburger, but on pizza, it just kind of, and like in a salad, it just, that's all you taste. So, I don't know. I like the sausage, pepperoni. I don't know what else comes on that. Gerald. Yeah, it's the Spin Gems granite mixture. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Again, I mean, you could like quit right there and it looks like a rock. Like you could, that really, especially if you left it dull, that looks like a rock. You could make a pet rock out of this stuff easily. Just leave it there and people be like, oh, yeah, it's a rock. But we're going to polish this up. Make it look, that's a little bit too far. We'll get in there medium way. All right, so on to the green, what's this got? The Zona polishing paper. You can get this stuff from Turner's Warehouse. Good old Zona. They got packs of like every flavor. This one is I usually only use the 3 lowest grits. I don't know, how many grits even come in a pack? Let's see here. I got their little chart thing. 1, 2, 3. So there's 6 grits that come in the pack, and if you're getting the multi-pack. And I generally just use the lowest 3 and then use buffing wheels for the higher end stuff, or the higher grit stuff. No pineapple. Yeah. I don't like bacon pizza-ness. I don't know. I guess I never had it, but told you, I'm a little bit weird. Like, I mean, frankly, like I can get rid of all the toppings. Just give me cheese pizza. That's all I even need. Because I'm all about cheese. Like the I guess that's the thing for me. Like I like cheese. Cheese and bread, okay. I don't really like very tomatoey pizza sauce. I like it to be a little bit more like tangy. I don't like thin tomato juice pizza sauce. I like it to be a little bit kind of thicker and tangier. I don't like super thin pizza. I just call it cracker pizza. If I wanted cheese and crackers, I would have pulled out some cheese and crackers. I don't know. I got certain things I like, other things that I'm like, yeah, I'll pass. But I do like bacon, yeah, definitely. Like I'd rather just eat the bacon plain. Just give me bacon. That I'm good with that. Pineapple is for fruit salad and ice cream? Yeah, I guess so. Pineapple is good just plain too. See? Yeah. I like it. There's nothing, I'll tell you what one of the best things on the planet is. Go to Hawaii and get pineapple in Hawaii. Oh, that's the best. Yeah. No white sauce pizza. Don't like that either. I do like the red sauce. But there's some that are just I don't like tomatoes really. So if it just tastes like tomato juice on there, like like the really tomatoey ones, ugh. Not down with that. That's rare that actually happens though. It's got to be pretty. Somebody has to like squeeze a tomato on it for it to be that bad. Yes, bacon on bacon. I'm down with that. Give me bacon piled on top of bacon. And like I said, I like bacon cheeseburgers. I'm good with that. Put a little avocado on there. Oh, that's where it's at, guys. Okay. So now that we've had a good discussion about bacon and pizza, let's stop this because we're done. Man, look at that. I mean, what? This is, let me get it, let's get it centered a little bit better. That is pretty killer. These things, this stuff is what I was going for, what I was hoping for. Okay, so I'm going to spin you guys around, right round. Okay. Get you guys kind of set up looking at the buffing machine. Do a little bit of buffing. This isn't the greatest angle, but it makes it a lot easier to just flip it around and then flip it back. Okay, and then let's see here. Let me get my wet sanding junk out of the way. Get the pen blank off of here. Man, I can't wait to see how these things look when they're shiny. Okay, so let's stop real quick and just double check. New York or Chicago? In the middle. I do like New York, like real New York pizza from New York. That's pretty good. And I do like the super. So, and this is one of those things. Like out here on the West Coast, people say Chicago style, and I'm thinking like super deep dish. But I don't know that that's entirely the case. Like that is an actual thing in Chicago or the thing that they all do. So I want to make sure that we understand what we're talking about here, because that's what I think of when we talk about that, like the deep dish stuff, which is even more horribly bad for you. But we have a pizza place called Chicago Mike's here in town, and it is fabulous. But man, we really gotta watch out, because it's like the super thick crust. It's like eating a loaf of bread with each slice, and then there's cheese. Oh, I already got glasses on. I'm okay, guys. I'm okay. Yeah. So I can do that. one of my favorite things when I visited New York City when I was younger. I was like, we have to have New York pizza. It was awesome. And when we found some awesome New York pizza. You guys, so there's a chain called Grimaldi's. Have you guys heard of that? We had one in Vegas. We got one up in Reno now that I moved up north. Man, that is some killer pizza. And it's like, they literally do something with the filters so that the water is exactly somehow the same chemical makeup as the stuff in Brooklyn, the original one. And it is fabulous. We really like that for being a chain. That one's pretty good. They got a lot of other good stuff there. They got cannolis there. Oh, give me some cannolis for dessert. Woo! It's looking good. I know you guys aren't really. I can move you guys closer. Let's move you guys closer. I'll unplug the. We're not going to run out of battery. Oh, we lost the light. Hold on a minute. I got plugs and things going on. I can get you guys in here. Hopefully that'll be okay. Oh, then I kicked the thing. Okay. How does it look? Yeah, that's okay. You're a little closer up now. You guys are in the action. I don't know if you can really see a lot, but am I on camera? There we go. Yeah. It's looking good already. This is the Triple E wheel. Put it on my little stick. Do a little bit of this action. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff. I like this. I'm interested to try some other colors of the rock look, and I'm also definitely interested to see how those fluorescent ones turned out. Pretty sweet. Flip it. Kind of making sure, like I said, again, it's kind of hard to see on the surface, you know, what scratches are left or whatever's going on. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more, a little extra time to make sure that we can get this thing as polished as it can be. We'll go over to the white diamond wheel. Can you guys see that one? No. Maybe I should move you back just a hair. There we go. There's the white diamond wheel. Can you see the top of it? No. Hold on. Where's my cameraman? He's always shirking his duties. All right. Do a little white diamond here. Whew. It's getting nice and shiny, guys. We haven't even hit it with the car polish yet, and it's looking. I gotta put some shades on. Reflection is blinding me. So that's not even, there's no, it's bad lighting. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll get you a better shot of it, but man, it's shiny. It's looking good. All right, so let's go, we'll get this one going here on the Triple E wheel. And I told you, I'm kind of weird. I like to do it by hand at first for some reason, and then put it on the stick. It just seems to work. I get good results doing it that way, so I just keep doing it. And I don't really know if there is something that if there's a difference or not, but whatever. It's just how I do it. All right, now we'll go to the stick here. Do a little bit of this. Can you guys even see that? Yeah, you can. I guess I could just look up. The monitor's right in front of my face. Jeez. Should have brought my phone over here. I can't see the comments. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I should probably be paying attention to what I'm doing. Things work out better that way. Okay, move over to the white diamond. And I got, for anybody, if anybody's curious, I got this running at about, oh, actually it's going pretty fast. 2,000 RPMs? No, middle. About 1,000. Sorry, I had to read the, and I don't, it's not like a digital, I don't know for sure, but somewhere in the like 1,000, 1,200 range, something like that. And these are 8-inch wheels. I'd probably go a little faster if I was using thinner or, you know, smaller diameter wheels like 6 or 4. Loving that shine. Flip it. So I guess I forgot to mention, I just thought of it. I didn't really mention it, but I don't think. When Toby from Toby Fire and Steel came, I didn't mention it again. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show that I just went on his podcast. So I apologize for not saying it if I didn't mention it again, but I'll be, our episode's coming out on Wednesday. So I'll link to Toby's YouTube channel and where you can listen to the, I think you can get it on like iTunes and all that kind of stuff. It's the Toby Fire and Steel podcast, I believe is the name of it. But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. So let's see here. I got to switch over. I'm going to stop real quick before I'm going to make you guys wait another second. I'm going to check the chat, see what's happening here. Turning vids in the world, according to me. I know, I'm telling you. You don't have the chain up north. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't. They may not do that. Yeah. Chicago thin crust. See, that's what I'm telling. Well, and they have a thin crust too, I guess. But I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Wow, there's a lot of comments. Okay, whew, chicken wings, yes. Okay, so I don't think I missed anything. Let's get this thing set up. So I like to finish off with a little bit of car polish. A little bit of water on my bed that I don't want there. Okay, that's good. All right. Let's de-chuck the lives or the dead center there. De-chuck it. I guess it's not a chuck. And we'll put in our tapered spindle. And we'll put in our string buff. So I got this one on McMaster Car. I would have just bought one of the Beal ones, but they weren't shipping. They weren't taking orders when it was like in March. So... and I think I'm actually going to buy one of the Beal ones. Try and mount it on that mandrel. And then I'm just going to use Meguiar's 105. I don't know if it really matters what kind you use. I've just gotten pretty good results with that. Let me get a little paper towel here. Oh man, the last paper towel. Okay. So I'm just going to shake this up. I'm going to add just a little bit on this paper towel here. You don't need a lot. I've found you really don't need a lot at all for pens, especially. Hold on, that thing's... Hold on. The only thing I don't like about car polish is the stupid nozzles get clogged all the time. Stuff cakes up in there. And you can't squeeze it out, and oh man. Okay. There we go. That's the amount that I was looking for. And let me get this thing on the stick. So I just kind of wipe a little bit on there. And we go about 1300 RPMs or so. And then the same thing. Hopefully you guys can kind of, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Do a little bit on the top here. I'll tell you what, it'd be a lot easier to get pictures with this thing when it was dull. This thing's got to shine now. Look at that. What? Granite. So that side's done. Let's do the other side. Add just a little bit of this car polish on my rag. Okay. Okay, here's another one. Let's put our pen, well actually, you know what? I didn't even pick a kit out for this yet. So, let's do that. Get the camera kind of set up over here. Oh, we got to turn the only problem with the drill press, pen press thing is if you got it set up as a drill press, you got to convert it every time. That's the drawback. One thing I didn't really think of. All right, so get that out of the way. I'm gonna have to buy a drill press strictly for pen pressing. That's a joke. Okay, so hold on real quick. It's not working. Bring my table up. I'm hoping to get a new drill press soon. Also, trying to see, I'm hoping Chad can sell Nova. I want to get the Voyager. That thing seems like a pretty awesome drill press. But they haven't gotten back to him, so let's see here. I'm a little bit high. Bring that down a little bit. And I like to I just put a little piece of wood down here. This thing's got holes in it. And yeah, that ought to work, I think, hopefully. So here's the deal. Granite. And I got lots of Actually, you know what I think might look not too bad is antique brass, possibly. I got one of the new blue Galaxy ones. That would stand out a little bit, but chrome, I guess, would look pretty good. I don't know. What do you guys think about this antique brass? I think it would blend in a little bit more. It'd be a little bit more muted. I don't know. It kind of, the thing is, I want the blank to stand out, and this just kind of, it's almost like the color of this, the plating just kind of disappears, basically. Which is kind of what I'm, kind of what I want, really. I don't know. Let's see here. Black. I don't have a black cigar kit. That would go good. I have black trim with chrome. I've got one of these guys. And that, I know that will look good. Chrome's not bad either. I don't know, maybe, I don't think gold. I don't really like gold usually. I do have a gunmetal one, I guess, too. Is that gunmetal? Let's just see how it looks. If I really hate it, I can just take it apart and put a different kit on it, you know? So, let's do it. I'm jumping in. I'm going to go head first. I'm crazy. All right, so what are you guys seeing here? Oh, you do have a view. Let's zoom in a little bit. Maybe, oh yeah, actually it's pretty bright. I think this camera likes lower light a little bit, or it can handle it pretty well. All right, so let's press this guy in. We got our nib. Ooh, yeah, actually I do like that. Okay, where's all the rest of the parts? Give me my pieces. Okay. Tubes back in the kit bag so that I don't lose that. This side. Am I missing parts? Wait a minute. Where's the clip? Huh. Well, I think I might be missing a clip, guys. Did I take it out? What the heck is going on? All right, well, oh, here's one, antique copper. Okay, we're gonna switch gears because I don't have a clip in this bag. So, I'm gonna pop this thing off. I feel like I maybe just put it somewhere. I don't know. I can't find it. Well, let's do gunmetal because it actually is it's gonna look very similar to this, I think, in the end. So let me get a punch. So I'm just going to punch this out. I do the simple punching. The simple removal tool is a hammer and a punch. They have a what do they call it? Removal tool. I don't know. They actually have a tool that holds your parts in place and is like a press. I think it's also a pen press. That was the most interesting one that I saw on my video with the drill pen press. Somebody mentioned that, and I looked into that. That was actually a very interesting thing. What do they call that? Take apart tool? Pen disassembly tool. So I think like Woodcraft, or I don't know who all has them, but a hammer and a punch is just as effective, I find. So let's put this back. I don't know what happened there. I must have, I guess, lost a piece. Might have had to like replace something with a different kit. Get this punch back where it goes. All right, so we're gonna go with gunmetal, and I have lots of them. So is that gunmetal? Hold on a minute. Yeah. Okay, gunmetal. I think it'll be pretty similar. I think I got all the parts this time too. And if not, I got multiple kits. All right, now this one needs a little bit of putting together, it looks like. Whew. Okay, where are you guys at? Let's zoom in a little bit. We got a pile of parts here. I'm gonna put the tubes back in the bag. Start putting some of these parts together. Let's see. Clip goes on this part, I think. Yep. All right. This kit has a little bit of some assembly required going on. All right, so I'm going to put my clip. Oh, I dropped the clip. That's what I get for trying to show you guys on the camera. There we go. There we go. And then the little finial part. Okay, so we got this piece ready to go. We got, let's see here, this is the nose cone. I call it the nose cone. Put that together, ready to go. And actually we can press this one in right now. That's what I was waiting for. Ooh, that's tight. Okay. Good. And here's the center band. We're just going to put a little chrome trim ring there. That goes there. And then let's see here. This part goes on the other end of this. Too high. Like that. I'm going to toss the ink in and the transmission. All right. We're halfway there. The twist mechanism works fine. Where's my other blank? Okay, so we'll put this little center part in. And let's see, I don't know if it really makes any difference which way this goes on. Whew, this is a nice looking pen. Okay, so I'm actually gonna cover up some of the, like looking at this blank, so we got some kind of chunky parts, and then, you know, it did have a little bit of separation in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the clip over some of the chunky, kind of have that on the top. Doesn't really matter which way we do this. Now, because there's, see how the clip's like pretty tight there? And I mean, it'll work, but I'm actually, before I do this, I'm going to bend this out a little bit. I find that kind of helps a little bit, just to kind of relieve some of that tension on the blank and the clip itself. All right. And then the one nice thing is, because there is, you know, a little bit like chunkier stuff on that side and less, I can line it up that way, these two halves. And then you just press it together. There we go. Let's get you guys over in the light again, so you can see this thing. This thing's looking pretty awesome. Oh, sorry about that. I mean, really, granite pen. So the gunmetal's looking pretty good on it. I like that. It matches, definitely. I'm pretty excited. This stuff looks pretty good. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Did I see Art? Art's here. What's up, man? Guess you finally made it. Disassembly. Tony was on it the whole time. Tony was on it. All right, let me switch to the other view here. What time is it? Yeah, not too bad. 2 hours. This one took a little bit longer to turn. It just, the material's a little bit more abrasive, kind of harder. But man, yeah, I mean, not bad. I'm digging this material for sure. I don't know if this is gonna work out or not. Probably not. This camera never wants to look at anything that I want to show it. But anyway, yeah, so I hope that, you know, I know a lot of you guys picked up some of the spin gems, so I'm anxious to see what you guys make with spin gems. And I'm going to get on the horn. Is Bradley still here? I don't know. He might have gone. But I'm gonna get in touch with him, try and get some of this. I like the granite. That one I want to add to my website. The one thing, you know, so for blanks, the one thing that I'm curious about with these is what I've been saying that I used to carry something that was kind of a faux stone look. It definitely wasn't as close to this look. It kind of looked like granite, but not really. But what I used to do with those is you could add a little bit of dye and it would change it. So I know pink granite, like that's like a Texas, I think it's a Texas thing, Texas pink granite. I got some that were pink and blue, and so you could kind of, you know, slightly alter the color of it. That's something I want to test out with this granite stuff. And I know that they have other color combinations of spin gems other than granite, but I want to kind of play around with that. But be looking for that. It's going to be a while before I actually get these things actually up on my website. I got to order the granite stuff from Bradley. But so I guess he's doing, yeah, there he is. He's still there. I guess there's a discount again. I have no clue. Maybe you can tell. So Bradley's doing another discount on spin gems and Chromacraft supplies at Spiracraft. So let me know what that was. I can't remember. I don't know what the actual thing was. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know what the code was, but there was another. Yeah, well, yeah, I figured you could tint it. I'm curious to see how that works. Hey, Chris, how's it going? NVW10. Is that the right one? I don't know. He just put one up today, so I'm gonna kind of pause and stall. NVW. Okay, that's it. NVW10 gets you 10% off on stuff. So let's see here. Yeah, and I guess they ship I'm guessing worldwide and all that stuff. So if you want to try it out, definitely head over to spirecraft.com. The link's up there. Jen put a link, and I'll put a link to the stuff on the show notes for people that are watching back later. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. So again, big thank you to Bradley and Spirecraft for sending me some of this fun stuff to play with. And then the other thing, so at the beginning we voted to see which one I was going to turn up. So I'll do this one on my own time, and I'll post pictures of the fluorescent. And if you're just kind of joining the fun, this one, originally when I cast this, I meant to use like a black, I was thinking about using like a black resin to bind it. And that way you'd have like little black crack lines, I think, in between. It's hard, this camera's not showing you what I want you to see. But I forgot, so it's just clear. So what I did was I added a black tube in there. So I'll turn this up when I get a chance, and I'll post pics on Instagram and Facebook. So make sure to follow me over there so you can see what happens with this one. But anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for joining the fun tonight. So tentatively, we will do another one on Wednesday. I'm trying to think if I had a plan for what we were actually going to do. Oh, I do have an idea. So I don't know yet, though. I don't want to tease you guys just in case. I have a phone call that's very important that I need to make sometime on Wednesday. I'm not sure when. So that may set me back, and it may screw up the Wednesday stream. But if not Wednesday, if I don't see you Wednesday, this Friday, just to let everybody know, is going to be the First Friday Patreon hangout. We got something fun. I went and bought I was at the store, and I bought a colander. So if you didn't see, if you're a Patreon member, bought a colander, and we're going to do a test with a colander during the demo part of that hangout. And then the second part, as most of you guys should know, is like a Q&A kind of thing, hangout, and that way I can kind of just focus on the chat and answer questions if you have, if something's been, hanging you up, if you've been hung up on something with resin casting in your own shop, or if you have questions, the second half of that thing is dedicated to that. So if you'd like to join in on the fun and have access to the Patreon hangouts, the monthly, we do it the first Friday. You can do so over on patreon.com/nvwoodworks. And like I said, either Wednesday or Friday is going to be the next live stream, but the Friday one is the Patreon one. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great evening, and I think that's about it. And don't forget the podcast episode of me on Toby's podcast, Toby Fire and Steel. Should be coming out, I believe he said Wednesday afternoon for us. So I'll definitely be posting links to the episode and all that stuff. And I'll put links to Toby's channel. Let's see, I can put a link in the chat here if you want to check it out. He's doing some cool stuff with knife making and all kinds of stuff. And he's got a podcast that he does twice a week, 2 episodes a week. So it's good content if you're into the audio thing, and you like for commutes and stuff. I listen to podcasts all the time. He's got 2 a week, which is awesome. So lots of content on there. Kind of knife making focused, but he does a lot of resin casting and stuff like that too. So I got to be a guest on his show, so we'll have that episode up on Wednesday. Go and give him a subscribe and check out what he's got going on there. And then I'll put links to the episode when I have a link to it. I think you can like subscribe to his podcast on like iTunes and all the major things. Listen to it on his website, and I think that's it. Anyway, so guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Get out there, get some spin gems. NVW10 is the code. You'll save 10% off at Spirecraft getting some spin gems. And I will see you guys either Wednesday, or I'll see patrons on Friday. So have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on the next one.